Good evening. So, I know I'm a little bit early today. I actually have another live that's scheduled for 7 o'clock. So, thank you for those of you who have hopped on. Hey, Alumda, hello. How you doing today, girl? Over on YouTube. She's a faithful follower. Thank you for those of you who always show your support. I greatly appreciate you. I know my timing is a little bit off, but we're gonna move pretty quickly tonight. So I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time answering questions at the end like I usually do, but do know that if you have any questions about anything that I say during this time, then you can always go back and ask me questions. You can message me, you can email me, however you need to get to me, then ask me your questions. So for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Dr. Tiffany. I'm a therapist and a relationship expert, and I particularly work with women who are healing and recovering from traumatic relationships, such as toxic relationships. So most of my videos are going to be connected to toxic relationship. Hey, Stacia K over on IG. Thank you for joining on tonight. Most of the topics that I talk about are going to be focused on something related to toxic relationship, unhealthy relationship, but it's always going to be something about relationships because relationships is at the foundation of who we are. Like we don't really exist. We don't exist outside of having some kind of a relationship, even if it's nothing but a relationship with a parent or a caregiver. So you'll always hear me talking about relationships because that's what I do. Like I can't be a relationship expert and not talk about relationships. So tonight we're going to talk about are you quiet quitting? We left off last week talking about are you quiet quitting on your relationship. But today we're going to talk about are you quiet quitting on your dreams. So I'm excited about this topic. I absolutely... when I heard the concept, it's one of those things that's just kind of floating around social media, quiet quitting. So I was like, okay, if people are quiet quitting on their jobs, or on their careers, then surely this concept can apply to different areas of our life. And so, of course, I, just kind of sat down with some thoughts, and I was like, okay, Lord, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna apply it to two of the areas that I see a lot of my clients struggling in, which is in relationships, and then with doing what they are called to do or moving forward in the things that they are called to do. So if you are on, please hit that share and let us know where you're joining from. I know I'm probably gonna move pretty fast, but I still don't want to miss you. So make sure you let me know where you are joining from, and I always go back and check my messages, even on the replay. If you're watching the replay, I always go back and check my messages. Hey, G-Tech, thank you for joining on tonight. So are you quiet quitting on your dream? So we talked a little bit last week. I think it was it was Thursday that we left off talking about, like, are you quiet quitting on your relationship? So I wanted to give some definition for those of you who couldn't join me. Hey, Heather. For those who didn't join me on Thursday, I wanted to give some definition to what quiet quitting is, because we hear people say these things all the time. Like if you're somewhere reading some kind of article, you've probably heard this term quiet quitting, and you're like, what in the world? Quiet? Can you quiet quit? I mean, so let's give some definition to what it is. So dictionary.com defines quiet quitting as an informal term for the practice of reducing the amount of effort one devotes to one's job. So according to dictionary.com, and I've read some other articles on this too, the term quiet quitting comes from, they try to blame millennials for everything. I'm a millennial, so that they try to blame us for everything. But they said during COVID, a lot of people just really came to the knowledge that they were doing a lot at work. Like they were manning 2 and 3 different positions in one and wasn't getting paid for it. And so what they decided to do, which people have been doing this before COVID, of course, is just adhere to whatever their job description was. So they pretty much just do enough to keep from losing their job. Just for the most part. They do just enough to quit from doing their job or doing just exactly what their job description says. So, of course, I said in the beginning, this really does apply to life. Like, you can really quietly quit in many different areas. You can quietly quit in your relationship by just doing enough. And you can't be in a relationship, a thriving relationship, and just do enough, because it just doesn't work. Or you can't pursue your dreams and just do enough, because it just don't work. Like, you gotta put 100% in everything that you do. So it is my belief that each of us has a unique purpose, which is something that we have been created to do. Like, we all, and I wore my shirt tonight that says your existence matters, because it does matter. We all were created to do something. A lot of us may not have figured out what that something is, but we know that there is something more. Like, you start feeling that urge, like, there's something more to what I'm supposed to be doing. Or, I'm doing what I'm quietly quitting my job, which means I'm just doing enough. I'm at my job, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at my job, but I still feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else. Like, there's people that I know I'm supposed to be helping. So you don't necessarily feel settled. That's because you were created to do something else, and you hadn't quite figured out what that was, but you were designed to do something. So a lot of times, even if, whether you know or you don't know, life will happen. Life happens to a lot of us. Something, we have children, we have families, or, we switch jobs, or we do a lot of things that will take us off focus. Hey, lovely Alicia. We do a lot of things that takes us off focus, or that distracts us from doing what we know. Some of us really do know. Like, we know what we've been called to do. We know what our dreams were when we were little. But life will happen to take us off focus from those things that we know that we're deep in our heart that we're supposed to be doing. And I believe, especially with a lot of the clients that I see and a lot of women that I interact with, that some of the things that keep us stuck where we are is fear. Like, I was doing my research on this, and I was just like, why do people just stay where they are? And it all boils down to fear. Every time, like, I started thinking about reasons, whether family, children, all, resentment. Not resentment, but fear of being rejected, fear of failing, or fear of succeeding. All of it is fear. It's fear. Why you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing is fear. You might have some other excuses, like, money. Money is a big part of it. Yeah, we know that. But money is not always the reason why you're not doing what you know that you're called to do. Most of the time, it can always be traced right back down to fear. So what are some signs that you are quiet quitting on your dreams? Let's go there. What are some signs that you are quiet quitting on your dreams? You're just doing enough, or you're not fully doing what it is, stepping out and doing what it is that you know that you're supposed to do. Of course, we said it's fear, but I want to get a little bit more specific. Here's some signs. You don't set goals to achieve your dreams. You know your dream. You know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You know what you like. Because it's in your heart. Like, it ain't going nowhere. You can fulfill and do a whole lot of things that that kind of fulfill what you want to do. But at the root of it, you know there's a void still there that you're not doing, because you ain't fully doing what you're supposed to do. So you're quietly quitting if you fail to set goals to achieve your dreams. Or you talk yourself out of doing it. It's like, but, maybe that time has passed. And, that dream was for when I was in college. I'm not in college no more. Life has happened, as life will. Maybe that dream is no longer valid. Maybe I can adjust that dream and fit it into something else, and, and pray that it all works out. No, it ain't going to work. It's not going to work until you're fully doing what it is that you know that you're supposed to be doing. So here's another sign, is that you're looking for validations from other people. I had this problem in the beginning when I started my business. It's like I was looking for people to approve me, like people to say, yeah, you can go do that, or yes, you can design your program how you want to design your program. Or I was looking for people to approve it when I didn't need nobody to approve it. I know that don't make sense. Like, I'm from the South. Y'all know that already. So a double negative just may come out, because that's just what it is. Y'all get me though. Like, y'all get me. I hope so. But you don't need anybody to approve what it is that you want to do. Yeah, it may sound foolish to somebody, but I'm sure people thought Mark Zuckerberg was crazy when he was talking about building Facebook. Because at that time, we only had, what was the one that was really popping back that time? I can't even think of it. MySpace. It was MySpace. Like, we only had that one. No one could have envisioned that Facebook would turn into Facebook and then buy out Instagram. And then now we got TikTok. Like, and most people are, I mean, it's like billions of users on these platforms. So your dream may seem crazy for everybody else, and that's okay, because it ain't everybody else's dream. Nobody else needs to understand it but you. You're the only person that needs to understand it. So here's another sign, is that you're stuck in comparison. You're stuck in comparing what you know you want to do with other people on other platforms. So I'm a relationship expert. If I was comparing, I would get on there and I look, and there are a lot of relationship experts. There are a lot of therapists that's floating around social media, but they're not me. They're not me. Like, I had to realize there were certain people that were like assigned to me, if that makes sense. Like, there were certain people that were assigned to me. And what really made it real for me is when I had a client that I referred to someone else because she needed something else that I could give, at the time. And so I referred her to someone else, and I think it might have been weeks or so that passed by, and she came back and she was like, no, I followed your recommendations. I went to that other person. She said, but it was just something about you. Like, it was just something about you. I know that I'm supposed to work with you. And that made it real to me that there are some people that's assigned to you. They're assigned to your assignment. So whatever your assignment is on this earth, they are assigned to you. Like, they're assigned to your voice. They're assigned to how you dress. They're assigned to your character. They are assigned to you, which means that you are the perfect person designed to do it. The perfect person. So here's another sign, is that you struggle with imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is just feeling like you're not good enough. Like, who am I to want to do this? Who am I to want to own 4 or 5 businesses? Who am I? I came from, a family full of poverty, or I'm the first person to graduate in my family, or in my immediate family, first person to graduate. The only person I think in my family on my mother's side, I know for sure, that has a doctorate degree. So like, who are you? Imposter syndrome says, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Or who am I? Who am I to show up on a certain platform? Or who am I to have certain opportunities? Imposter syndrome will have you second guessing who you are. It will have you second guessing who you are and what you've been called to do. Comparison would keep you stuck. It would keep you stuck in trying to compare who you are with somebody else, when in essence, like, it's only one me. Like, even if you're a twin, it's still only one you. You and your twin may share DNA, but your fingerprints gonna be different, because it's only one you. There is only one you, which makes you special. Okay, and so the last one that I have here is that you're stuck in analysis paralysis. You're constantly researching, constantly trying to figure out things instead of just acting, just moving forward. An analysis paralysis, for those of you who don't know what analysis paralysis is described as an individual who overanalyzes stuff or overthinks. And there's nothing wrong with analyzing. There's nothing wrong with thinking. There's nothing wrong. Well, sometimes it is wrong. And when you're searching, when you're going after your dreams, you don't need a backup plan. I don't know where we even get that from. We don't need a backup plan. You don't need a backup plan. Like, everyone who's ever been successful in business or pursuing their dreams got rid of backup plans. They got rid of them. You have to know that come hell or high water, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is what I'm doing. And what if I fail, then I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to make it work. Because I know this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm getting rid of the plan B's and C's. But analysis paralysis will have you overthinking and being stuck right there. You can plan, you can research. I advise you should plan, research, even find your competitors. You need to know who your competitors are. Nothing wrong with knowing who your competitors are, but you're not measuring yourself up to them. A goal checklist, a wonderful idea. A goal checklist is a wonderful idea. And another thing is SWOT. You might have to Google it. It's a SWOT analysis where you're examining your strengths and weaknesses, especially for those of you who may not know what it is that you're called to do. A SWOT analysis is great figuring out who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you like to do? Where some places where I can grow in. So a goal checklist, I love that idea. I'm actually working on a goal checklist for an entrepreneurship group that I'm doing. So analysis paralysis. So what are the solutions? Like if you find yourself in one or more of these areas that you're quiet quitting, you're just kind of doing just enough in your dreams. Like it may just be a dream right now. You hadn't really set any goals to make it a reality. Because somebody setting goals make it a reality. Goals to me is almost like a contract. It's like when you write out your vision or write out what it is that you're supposed to be doing or need to do or want to do or desire to do. When you write it out, it becomes a contract. Even if it's nothing but a contract between you and you. It just becomes a contract. And it makes it more real. And then you get your goals, work with somebody who's great at accountability. I know an excellent accountability coach. Like you work with them and help you be able to check off on those goals step by step by step. So if you're struggling in some of these areas, here's some things that I want you to do that you can just kind of journal. I always suggest journaling because I love to write and I love the process. Like I'm an internal processor, and so I like to write. But I want you to sit down with yourself and literally look at how you think. I know that sounds odd. Like, how do I look at how I think? Think about how you're thinking. What are you thinking? Are you always thinking negative? Like, are you in the fear zone as to why you're not stepping out? Are you always in that fear zone and you're always putting up backup plans and you're not, you're afraid of failing? Like, think about how you're thinking. GT says facts. Doing simple goals is a great head start. Simple goals is a great head start. Like today, I'm just going to research what it is that, I want to do. I'm just going to research, what does it look like? What are there any people out there that's doing what I want to do? Like just simple goals, step by step by step. Then the second one, because G-Tech has already given us one, simple goals. I know, right? Me too. I'm glad she did. Simple goals. And then the second one is thinking about how you're thinking. You want to always be in the mindset of growth and not in a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset does not see opportunities. If you're in a growth mindset sees a world of opportunities. I mean, it opens up your mind to many different opportunities. And then another one, hire somebody to hold you accountable, or get a friend to hold you accountable. Somebody that can help you look at your list and help you work through those. But also say, oh, wait a minute now. You said you was going to get this done by Friday and it's not done. You need somebody that's going to help hold you accountable. And then the next one, the last one that I was talking about earlier that I had to learn how to do is to affirm myself. Not looking for anyone else to approve what it is that I want to do. Because y'all, we are some pretty powerful people. Like, it's so amazing that what you think about, you become. Like, that's how powerful we are. So if you see yourself growing, you see yourself fully doing what it is that I can see myself operating different businesses because I'm a serial entrepreneur. I see myself do that. And so now my brain can literally I create businesses in my brain all the time because that's where my mindset is. You become what you think. Which is why it's so important for you to think about how you're thinking and begin challenging yourself. And then affirming yourself. Amy Porterfield teaches this. I love Amy Porterfield. If you don't know, if you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, if you don't know who Amy Porterfield is, I don't know who you are. She is amazing. How do we get ourselves out of stuck zone? I'm going to answer that in just a second. Amy Porterfield says, only thing you need is a 10% edge. Which means all you need to know about whatever it is. She teaches a lot on digital courses, but she said only thing you need to know in order to help someone else is you need to know 10% more than what they know. If you know 10% more than what the people are that you're trying to reach, you're already off to a head start. So how do you get yourself out of being stuck? Is the number one thing that you're going to have to do with that is to literally go by or go through your list. If you're sitting down with yourself, you're looking at all of the things that keep you stuck, or the mindsets that keep you stuck, or the useless behaviors, attitudes, maybe beliefs that you've been holding on to, like failure, or no one else in your family has done this before. So you're going to look at those, and then you're just going to have to challenge those with something positive. You're going to have to challenge those mindsets. Where did those mindsets come from? And then challenge them like, no, it doesn't matter if nobody else in my family has done this. Then I mean, I can do it. I can learn how to do this. I can do this. So it's like you're going to be constantly challenging those mindsets or those beliefs that's keeping you stuck, and combating them with something positive. I hope that helped. Y'all, I am going live at 7 o'clock with a friend of mine, and we're going to be talking about toxic relationships. So that's why I came on early, so I can't stick around for questions, and I love to stick around for questions. I thank y'all for coming on tonight. And if you have another question, thank you, lovely Alicia, for that question. It was a really good question. If you have any questions, message me, DM me your questions, and I can answer them back to you in a voice message, because I talk a lot, and typing it can get lengthy, but I can answer it back to you in a voice message, or I can put it in my stories, because if you're asking, then other people are asking too. Let me check my other comments before I go, but I do gotta go. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys back here another day. I don't think I'm coming back on this week, but I may surprise you. But do DM me your questions if you have them. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day.